This is the Pop Tournaments podcast. In Pop Tournaments, we take a category of pop culture and let you, the fans, vote on matchups in a single elimination tournament format to determine an ultimate champion. We are here to discuss those results and the upcoming matchups. Thanks to our great community and everybody who votes, let's start the show. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. And do a podcast called Pop Tournaments. Hello, hello, hello. Hope everybody is doing well. It is episode 39. It is March 15th, 2020. I said 2020 too many times.
Started over.
Stuck in last year. Jeez, it's 2021.
Oh
my gosh. I'm so excited about this episode. Sorry, I'm going to turn my gain down just a little bit because this is getting ridiculous. Yeah, it's getting ridiculous already. Hello and welcome back to the latest episode of the Pop Tournaments podcast. We've got Ryan Barrett.
What's happening, everybody?
And Jennifer Schmidt.
Hi, friends.
Hope everybody is doing so well. We are coming to you from the currently calm waters of Lake Minnetonka. Because guess what? It is our first Prince episode. If you couldn't already tell with all the cliches we've gone through. But we will be getting to that in a second. Just want to wish everybody out there a happy March 15th. Mm-hmm. It's the Ides of March.
It is.
Beware.
And ironically enough, it is the anniversary of Prince's iconic performance at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when he, I believe it was... George Harrison's induction.
Well, my guitar gently weeps.
When he threw the guitar, and this is the anniversary of that. So,
which was led by Tom Petty.
Yes,
he was like the band leader or whatever of that jam session.
Yes.
And Prince's secretary was named Tom Petty. I'm just kidding. This was pre-show.
Oh. I got one for you. No, I got one for you. So it was led by Tom Petty. Tom Petty back in the day, back in 1994, after an SNL performance, asked Dave Grohl to be the drummer for the Heartbreakers. Dave Grohl said no, went on to make the Foo Fighters. Oh. And then later, Prince covered the Foo Fighters at the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there we go. I think they're kind of all connects.
Tom Petty and Prince also both had like big... infamous squabbles with record labels.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They had a lot in common.
Yeah, and they also both were big fans of Common.
Yeah, Prince definitely was. I remember him saying that song "The Light" was his favorite song of the year that year.
See? All right.
I don't know about
welcome back. It is the Pop Tournaments podcast.
This is our Tom Petty tournament.
Sorry, everyone.
No, it's our Tom Petty Prince crossover tournament.
Yeah.
Jen, how you been? What's new?
Not too much. I'm good. It is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're back to school.
I am. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's good for the most part.
Hope everybody's treating you well.
Yeah. I mean, as well as middle schoolers treat anybody. You know.
Yeah. They're mean.
And
They can be, but they could be hilarious too. So they're a lot of fun.
How are the cats treating you?
The cats are treating me well. Yep.
Okay. Good.
Yep.
That's what we want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, what has been going on? How's work been going?
Work's been going pretty good. I had last week was great. A little respite from the craziness. It was a little bit, more chill for me. It was still very busy, but wasn't quite as hectic as the last couple weeks. And we yeah, I had some nice entertainment viewing. Listened to a lot of Prince, which was great.
Yeah.
My favorite, my RuPaul Drag Race crush got sent home this week, which I was really bummed about.
Yeah.
But you know,
Huh.
I'll find a new one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. RuPaul's Drag Race has kind of been what's been keeping everybody going these last few months.
Yeah,
It's been keeping me going.
at least in this
past
podcast.
year. It has.
I pay attention to the Twitters and stuff.
Yeah.
I hear it. I hear it around the. Well, there's no more water coolers, so.
Yeah,
Been a solid season. So.
yeah. I also
For the
watched
Drag
a
Race.
really fun, kind of unexpected documentary, just like out of nowhere. I just had like a few minutes to kill, and I ended up watching the whole thing. It's called Kid 90.
Oh, I'm so excited to
on
watch
Hulu.
that. Although I've heard it's really hard to watch too, I'm sure. But
It is hard to
Yeah.
watch, and it is. I mean, I'm kind of a nostalgia junkie, and like that kind of stuff is always like, just for me, it kind of touches a nerve where I get like really, I don't know, it just makes me feel really uncomfortably nostalgic almost.
Different.
And that definitely took me there, but it is that there's a lot of heavy shit that that happens, you know, in her life, because it kind of spans like probably 1990 to, you know, 97 or something like that. But it's, in case you don't know, it's about Soleil Moon Frye, who played Punky Brewster. And she basically in the late 80s or maybe even 1990 started carrying around a camcorder with her everywhere and like recording everything. And she basically hung out with like the 90s version of the Brat Pack, which was like Brian Austin Green and Mark Paul Gosselaar, and you know, there was a whole gang of them.
Boy.
Yeah.
But they were all like getting drunk and like doing drugs and shit, and you know, partying. They were all like rich Hollywood kids, you know, child actors.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a really good movie, though. I mean, pretty like typical documentary, but you know, wasn't like reinventing the form, but it was cool in like a you know, kind of first person sort of story documentary, you know.
Different
Yeah.
sort of thing.
I'm currently reading Mara Wilson's memoir. And she's, you know, that adorable little girl that's in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
And so growing up,
Right.
similar time, she's kind of like the next generation of child star. But I think I'm going to finish the memoir and then watch Kid 90 for really just going in deep
Yeah.
with those child stars.
Nice.
Yeah. Interesting. No, I definitely have to check that out. There's been a little lack in my viewing, so I will definitely be taking a look at that. It's been an interesting week. Like you said, Ryan, I've been listening to a lot of Prince also, and just kind of bumming around. You know, again, I feel like lately I'm the most boring person in the world. I really have nothing going on but this, and I appreciate all you guys listening. I did want to, sorry, I'm taking this time because I did want to bring up, it really hit me in the heart in a good way, and I hate to keep bringing these kind of mushy things up, but our Pop-Tart Patrick O today said he loved how we revert to everybody as Pop-Tarts. And that really meant a lot to me. So a big, you know, we're not going to wait till the end of the episode. A big shout out to you, Patrick. That really meant a lot to me.
He's a very sweet person.
and we appreciate all those sweet Pop-Tarts.
Me too.
You
Yeah.
guys are all the best, and we hope that you are going to enjoy this tournament. I know Prince isn't everybody's favorite, and maybe a lot of these songs are a little little more obscure to some people,
and not
we
obscure enough for some people as well.
Yeah, right, right. We definitely, we don't worry. So I'll take this time to mention also that we will have an episode where we cover everything we missed. Don't worry. This, for some people, this definitely could have been a 128 entry tournament, as opposed to the 36 that we decided on. So, but before we get into the individual songs, just wanted to talk to you guys. It's different for everybody. Like some people are huge music people and they go deep with the nerdy stuff, and some people it's like that was the song that I'm not a big music person, but that was the song that represented this year in my life. So what we're all Minnesotans, for the most part. Jen, I'll throw to you first. What has Prince meant to you, or how did he become involved, with your life as a Minnesotan?
So I have never listened to a whole lot of Prince, and am going to be going through this tournament like just kind of learning. So my policy, I've been listening to the Spotify playlist, but I'm still like can't necessarily like figure out which song is which song for some of the more like lesser known options. So I'm going to be like listening to the 2 songs every day and reading what you write and learning. So so I'm really excited to be kind of going through this as kind of like the other side of these, like not having any real knowledge of it. And by the end, I'm going to be way more of a Prince expert than I am at the beginning of this tournament. So I'm excited for more.
Yeah, and you know what? I love what your shirt says. Good vibes. I mean, I think you're coming at this from a very unique and awesome perspective. Is where, again, you're not somebody who hates music or anything.
No,
I know you love music.
I do.
We've gone, yeah. It's just that now you get to take on these new perspectives.
Yeah, so I'm kind of a newbie. I've heard like the big singles, like Raspberry Beret and stuff like that, and I've seen Purple Rain, but it was a long time ago. So we'll watch that again this weekend. So, but yeah, I'm kind of almost like a newbie, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, like there's podcasts out there nowadays like about people watching Star Wars for the first time, or watching this. So again, super awesome. Like I love that. But like you said, you some of the bigger hits. Was there anything like growing up, or like the big song that stood out to you?
Like my favorite has always been Kiss. So. Okay. Yep, and I remember that because that's in the movie Pretty Woman, when she's in the big bathtub, like the first day, and she's taking the big bubble bath. That's what she's listening to on her Walkman in the bathtub.
Ryan, you're my Pretty Woman.
Yep.
What do you? And I know we're gonna have a lot of crossover here, so like, but. Please regale us how it's been with the I don't know, Prince.
What's your Prince journey?
What's your Prince journey?
I started out Prince was basically present in my household from as early as I can remember musically. I remember we had a record player, and I had like headphones, like the big over the ear headphones, and I remember like plugging them in and listening to records and just kind of like zoning out. I remember doing that since I was like 3-4 years old, and like the 3 that I kind of remember listening to all the time as a little kid, like pre 5 years old, were like Thriller, Purple Rain, and Can't Slow Down by Lionel Richie. And so yeah, I mean, Purple Rain was just something that was like on my entire conscious life.
It was there.
Yeah, and Let's Go Crazy, I think, in particular, was kind of the first one that was like, this is my favorite song on Purple Rain. As I got older, I think When Doves Cry kind of became my favorite. And then I think as I grew, kind of, and became more looking back at the album as a whole and appreciating the deeper cuts, like, both I Would Die For You and Take Me With You were just like such bangers. And like, for being like non-hits, those songs are so good.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, Purple Rain in particular just played a massive, massive role in my life as a kid. But I, I remember one of the first, like, singles I bought with my own money, I remember, was Thieves in the Temple from the Graffiti Bridge soundtrack. And there's, Prince was just all over my childhood. I loved Prince.
Right on.
The one thing I will say that kind of was like a nice, and I apologize if I'm stealing your thunder, Jake.
No, it's all good.
Kind of one period in my life where I was able to reevaluate his catalog and kind of deepen my appreciation for him was when me and Jake were in a band together, and we decided to like do a set of all Prince songs. And so we learned like 15 Prince songs or something.
We tried.
And yeah, to varying levels of success. And some of them, I mean, they were all like, it was just the two of us at that time. So they were all like very stripped down versions. But it definitely, learning the lyrics according to the actual lyrics and not just like what you thought the words were on the radio.
Yeah.
Or like, learning the chords and stuff like that, and really kind of thinking about it more musically gave me a deeper appreciation for it. And yeah, kind of learned to love some new songs. That's where I kind of fell in love with Delirious. I remember that was one of the songs that we did.
We'll talk, yeah.
But
that's going to come up today.
Yeah. So there's yeah, I guess, I mean, I could talk for a long time,
yeah.
but
and I'll try not to. I'm gonna bounce off that and say, like, part of what I've always loved about his music is it's helped me connect with people, and like that was definitely one of the ways we connected early on, because we even at that point when we were talking, we had been friends for a couple years, but we weren't like super close, like what I'm very happy we are now. But his music has also, in that kind of same way, always opened me up to other music. I'm kind of going in reverse here, because I've been pretty square in my past days and kind of set in my ways, and his music has always been a part of my life, and so it gave me an opportunity to expand my mind into other areas, R&B, funk, rap, different things that I wouldn't have necessarily been in at the time. And like where you guys both started with Purple Rain, like that was something that my entire family was able to agree on at a very very early age in my life. Like we all no matter what our different opinions were, like we all, no matter what, loved Prince. And even though some other family members might have had weird things to say about some of his fashion choices later in years or different things, we all still loved his music and understood just how amazing a musician he was, I think. And that's why, to our Pop-Tarts out there, that's why we're doing this. Like, it's just we kind of batted it around for a while, but like, man, you cannot deny just how incredible this guy was as a musician. So I really appreciate you guys putting up with me for this tournament, because I am so damned excited. And Jen, I am super excited to hear opinions, because some of these songs we've been listening to for years, and you
And
get to
they're
hear them fresh
new
for
to
the
me,
first
yeah.
time. Oh,
You'll be like
jealous.
those YouTube guys who like listen to
Yes,
Impaired
I'm not nearly as hilarious or adorable as they are, but yes.
you should do your like reaction. You should do reaction videos and put them on
Yep.
your Facebook page.
Oh, I cannot wait if we're gonna do reaction videos. All right. So speaking of, let's start right away. Let's get right into
Yeah.
it. Our play-in game going in on today, we have "Get Off" from 1991's Diamond and Pearls, going up against "Musicology," the titular single from Musicology from 2004. I personally I love both these songs, but the one thing I'm going to say really quick, and not trying not to steal my own joke, but when I first heard "Get Off," I sat there wondering what the other 20 positions were.
Yeah.
I was only 9, so
Hey, I'm almost 39, and I'm wondering too. I'm like, wow, let's see. What?
oh, never mind. Well, nope. Anyways, so Jen, have you had a chance to listen to both these songs?
I did, and I watched both music videos. Going purely song-wise, Get Off was definitely my favorite. Like, so much fun. So I love, like, the rap in it, and then the music. I love that it feels like a couple different songs just kind of wonderfully blended together. Like, it has, like, different pieces to it, which is super fun. And I liked the whole story of the music video of that as well. But Musicology was fantastic too, and especially, like, the song was fine. I liked the song, but the music video was so much fun, and I wish the music video was a movie. Like, I'm like, it's so cinematic how it's shot, and I'm like, I want to see this movie, or even better, like, this as a TV show. Like, I want 10-hour-long episodes of what's going on here. It was so fun. Yeah.
Right on, right on. Ryan, did you lean either way?
Yeah, I mean, I think "Get Off" is a banger, and it's one of those songs that I don't really think about when I think about, like, my favorite Prince songs. But as I'm going through and listening to them all back to back and kind of A-Bing them, "Get Off" is really good. It's a really good song.
It's just
yeah. It's just so funky, and like it's kind of in that, like, third wave or whatever, like the New Jack Swing era of Prince's career. It's definitely one of the better jams, I think. It is kind of weird. I'm kind of hit or miss with his more like rappy stuff. Some of it I think works really well. Some of it doesn't work as well. This one I think works really well, and I think it's really good. Musicology I don't love. It's got such a great infectious rhythm, like the rhythm guitar in it, and like just that, like, the riff, like, I could listen to that all day, and like it's very infectious, and I feel like it was ahead of its time in the sense that, like, now, like, that's a Bruno Mars song.
Yeah.
And like it's a major hit. I feel like at the time it was kind of just like a comeback song. It wasn't really taken seriously as, like, this belongs in the zeitgeist.
Where's the cowbell?
You got me. No, and it was like, I mean, at the time, like, it's a good funky, like, ode to James Brown era, jam funk style music. But I think you hit the nail on the head there. And so far today, "Get Off" is pretty much dominating the matchup. So, and this will come out on Wednesday, so we'll all know then. Anyways, and I don't really have much to add to what you guys said. I think you all pretty much covered it. But then, so we got some earlier, or I shouldn't say earlier, but early to mid-range Prince with Controversy from 1981's Controversy and against She's Always in My Hair, the B-side to Raspberry Beret. So for me, She's Always in My Hair is one of those B-sides that, like, he did it a lot live. Just a really unique, kind of cool song that often went underappreciated. Controversy, just such a early good 80s dance jam. I think Controversy probably takes this because She's Always in My Hair is probably a little less known. But yeah, interested to hear what you think, Ryan.
So I will say, first of all, I did not know She's Always in My Hair before
Okay.
putting this tournament together and having you suggest it as one of your favorites. I love it, though. It's I really, really like it, and I'm glad it's in the tournament just to, like, get more ears on it, you know.
Yep.
It's a really fun song, and I it's one of my, you know, the songs I'm really happy that is in my rotation now. Controversy is right now maybe my favorite Prince song, like this moment.
Yep.
Because it's one of the songs that I haven't heard a billion times, and like just revisiting all these songs over the last week, that's the one. That and another one we're about to go back to in just a minute are the two that I just keep going back to, and like I just want to listen to this song again.
I get it. I get it.
And it sucks because I feel like after now listening to these songs over and over again, I feel like I would put together the tournament a little bit differently. But maybe that's good because not everybody is listening to these songs every day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
They're kind of thinking of it more from like which songs were the bigger hits. You know what I mean? Which songs were the biggest hits? Which songs are the most popular? So I mean, it would make sense that Cream is ranked ahead of Controversy. You know?
Yeah.
But you know, Controversy
And that's the thing we want.
slays. That song is so good. It's very like Rick James, but better than Rick James.
Well, we'll let you expound on your Controversy love on the next episode.
Yeah.
When it moves on, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it does. Jen, have you had a chance?
Nope.
Not
Nope.
yet?
So you'll have to ask me
Tomorrow?
tomorrow afternoon.
You'll be happy. It's a fun one.
Yeah.
I think this is
The video, the video too is awesome.
Cool.
Super vintage 1980 music video.
Oh,
or 1981
fun.
music video. So like, it's kind of a live performance music video, not a.
Yep.
But
he
it's
had a lot of them.
it's still like it's not like in front of a live audience kind of live performance. It's like the band in a warehouse.
yeah,
doing,
that's a lot
like-
of Madonna's
were-
early
no, I
music
think they were-
videos too.
I think they were filmed at first. A lot of those were filmed at First Ave.
Probably.
This-
Cool.
Like they just filmed them during the day.
Sure.
I think. I don't.
Yeah, this
Again, here,
it may have been.
I'm an idiot here trying to sound like a Prince expert living in Minnesota, and I
I-
have no idea what I'm talking about.
I watched the video once, so I could be wrong.
It's all good. So another play-in game we have, and I think this one's going to be really, really tough, even though I have a favorite. We have Alphabet Street from Love Sexy in 1988. It was the first single off that album, going up against Erotic City from, it was the B-side for Let's Go Crazy off of Purple Rain. So,
So we've got a street versus a city.
Yeah,
yeah.
I like
that
it.
was on purpose. These are this is one of
Ryan
the
did it.
matchups that I put together kind of because of the name, sort of.
Yeah.
But
I have to say, Ryan did a fantastic job with this tournament. We worked together on kind of narrowing down what songs we were going to include, but Ryan was the one who put it together. So
Thank you.
I want to say that it was just, when I saw it initially, that was the thing. I looked at it, I'm like, I can't decide on a single winner. So I knew you had done a fantastic job. But yeah, fun matchup here. I lean Erotic City. Again, because of the playlist, I'm really, really loving that song.
that's
Ryan.
the other song I'm talking about. Erotic City and Controversy are the two that I'm just like, I just want to put these on repeat. Alphabet Street though is so funky. It's a really cool song, and it's really
So
different.
funky.
it sounds different than any other Prince song. So, but I'm excited to when we get to the Erotic City match. I found a really cool video from a live show because it was a B-side. There wasn't like a music video for it, but there is a live performance. I can't remember which. Oh, it was from the. I think it was from the Lovesexy tour, incidentally. But it's in Germany, and it's like a filmed concert movie. You know, like they released it on DVD or VHS or whatever, and he opens with Erotic City, and it's like a 2-minute just like drums as he like pulls up in like a car, like pulls up to the stage and like runs up, and there's all this like choreography and crazy shit going on, and then it like comes finally after like 2 minutes of build up, it goes into the song, and it's so great. But yeah, Erotic City is such a jam. I'm gonna be heartbroken if it doesn't move on, even though it's gonna have to go up against Kiss or Raspberry Beret or something.
No,
When Doves Cry. Even worse. That was it's a goner. But that, and
Ryan, what were you doing? I just told you did a good turn.
I know, but it's one of those things where I felt like because it wasn't a single.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's that there were reasons like mainstream popularity and stuff, even though amongst Prince fans this is like a top 10 song,
Right.
So
Jen,
tough.
do you take the students to Alphabet Street?
I know. I teach middle school. They're pretty good on that alphabet by then.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are two songs I haven't even heard of. So
All right.
I'm excited to get in there.
Once we start talking about the winners, this is going to be very, very interesting. But hopefully you've had a chance to see the 1990 Gem. Technically, these songs came out in 89, but I believe the movie is billed as 90 or 89. I can't remember. But the 1990 Gem from Tim Burton, that was Batman.
I think it was
the amazing soundtrack that they completely turned over to Prince, which, again, at the time was kind of unheard of.
It was that was corporate synergy for Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
He was on the Warner Brothers label, and Batman was a Warner Brothers movie, so it was kind of like a corporate synergy. But it was still groundbreaking nonetheless that they would just be like, this was the first big Batman movie, and they were like, we're just gonna turn the entire soundtrack over to this.
Soundtracks were a big thing at the time.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a, granted, like Guardians of the Galaxy, that's a big thing, but like they weren't like advertising the Avengers Endgame soundtrack.
No.
Right. Yeah.
From
and it wasn't all
Neil
original.
Young.
It wasn't all original music either,
Right. Right. So we have the two big ones from the Batman soundtrack, Bat Dance versus Party Man. I back in the day I had this soundtrack memorized. I had forgotten about Party Man though, and rewatched it. It's interesting. It's fun. The video is fun. I guess. Your new king, Party Man.
Yep.
But I think the fun thing with Bat Dance, it was kind of like it was. I don't want to say early sampling, but just kind of like unique early unique sampling, the way they brought in parts of the movie to the song and everything. But I think Bat Dance moves on.
I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. I think if people are listening to the songs, Party Man's going to move on. And if they're just going by what they remember, Bat Dance will move on. Because I feel like Party Man was not as big of a hit or not as like important or whatever as Bat Dance was. And I feel like
not as important as Bat Dance.
No,
that's just a sentence you just said.
Yeah, I know. That's quite a statement.
Let's just say I have an embarrassing story about Bat Dance, and I will only tell it if Bat Dance moves on.
Oh, okay,
God, I can't
saving
wait.
I
it
have
for
an
the next pod.
extremely embarrassing story
Oh,
about
I'm
Bat
super
Dance.
excited.
But Bat Dance is one of the songs that I will say, despite, yes, it is like really cool, like cutting edge kind of. I'm sure there were a lot of other artists who were doing this kind of stuff, like on the hip hop DJ scene and stuff before this.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like in the thick of that like sampling era. And
Yeah.
for him to like make the debut single from his big move, this big Batman move, make the debut single like basically like an instrumental track with all these samples was like weird. It was a weird choice. But I will say, like, listening to all these songs back to back, Bat Dance was probably the hardest one to get through, where I was like, man, is this song still going on? Like, I'm really ready for it to be over.
Oh,
But
boy. This
part-
story's gonna get interesting.
Party Man is definitely like a third tier Prince song, but it's funky and it's catchy and it's like, it sounds like a Prince song, you know?
And Jen, I think you'll love the video to Party Man.
Cool.
I think
So-
that'll
I'm
be-
excited.
This is another thing, just a quick note about the Batman soundtrack that I didn't really know until I was just listening to a podcast about Prince earlier today. That all the songs on the soundtrack were, which I'm guessing Bat Dance wasn't included in here, but all the songs were like from the perspective of a different character. So there was like a song for Vicky Vale and a song for Batman or a song for Bruce Wayne or whatever and a song for the Joker, and that's Party Man is the Joker song. And that's like in the movie
Interesting.
when the Joker is doing his like parade at the end of the movie where he's going through town and like gassing everybody. The song Party Man is playing.
Do you think he consulted Jack on that?
I'm sure he did. I'm sure Jack gets partial writing credit for Party Man.
I bet they were the best of friends.
Yeah.
So the four songs we have, we'll kind of talk about these as a group. Those were our play-in matchups, and they'll be going up against these four songs. Obviously, we have the biggest one, "Purple Rain," right up there. You know, titular song to the soundtrack and movie. You can't deny it. "Raspberry Beret" from Around the World in a Day from 1985. "When Doves Cry," also from Purple Rain in 1984, and "Kiss" from Parade in 1986. And I think these all kind of, at least, you know, what is commonly considered the you know, the pinnacle of Prince's career. These all kind of touch on different parts of that. But yeah, "Purple Rain," it's a banger.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Epic.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how it plays out because personally, I don't feel like it's the best song from the movie,
No.
but it's probably the most well known.
Yeah, and it's
So-
weird. It's definitely one of those that has grown over time. Like, you know, I think the big hits from the album were "When Doves Cry" was the biggest hit.
Right.
Yeah, I feel
And
like
then
that's
"Let's
the-
Go Crazy" was probably the second biggest hit. "Purple Rain"
Yeah,
is
and
one
we
of
get-
those that I think over time has become kind of his signature song.
It's aged really well, I feel like.
Yeah.
Purple Rain, it doesn't sound as like super 80s as some of the
Totally.
other ones do.
Yep.
Yeah, and and since it's on the other side, we can kind of talk about the "When Doves Cry" from the same album. It's just that was such a unique sound for that song at the time, and what it brought out. You know, all the instrumentation in it, the guitar especially. Ryan, this was one of those songs we attempted.
I'm sorry, you said "When Doves Cry"?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
and
attempted
there's
to
no
put our spin
no
on.
bass line in it, which is like
No,
so weird for funky Prince to just be like, the biggest hit on this record. No bass.
But then so we got Raspberry Beret, one of his biggest hits. Just it was, I mean, like as a single was just such and it carried other singles after it was the thing, and it'll be interesting to see how far that goes.
Raspberry Beret is just like a perfect pop song.
I think it's really annoying. I think it's such a pop song. Like it's just like the poppiest of the pop.
And I don't blame you for feeling that way. Like it's definitely not my favorite, but it is like, just from a song construction standpoint, I think it's perfect, you know.
Near perfection.
Yeah.
It's
our friend Warren Zevon covered it, for Christ's sake. So you know it's good. That's true.
And then Kiss, not as perfect of a pop song, but definitely just as infectious.
Yeah, it's so catchy, and it has such like fun 80s references too. You know?
Yeah. Dynasty.
You don't have to be on Dynasty to have an attitude.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's a weirder song too. Like the fact that it's like almost like in falsetto and just so sparse, and like that kind of chicken scratch guitar. It's very like
very weird instrumentation.
Kind of Bee Gees.
Yeah, I love it.
Bee Gees-esque.
And if you want to hear a good version, you got to hear Ryan Barrett sing.
Yeah, I absolutely want.
No,
I need that in my life.
He's number 2 to Prince.
I thought you were going to say Tom
number
Jones.
1, but no. Oh God, no. But getting back into our, we'll go through 3 more of our regular matchups. We have, I think, one of the best songs off of Purple Rain, "Take Me With You," going up against "Sexy Motherfucker," which this is a tough match. Oh, because I love those horns. Like, "Sexy Motherfucker" is all horns. It's a little bit of guitar and that little, you know, weird bass line in the back. "You sexy motherfucker." Sue me.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one for sure. You know, you have, I kind of feel like, I mean, we're going to see shortly here, but I kind of feel like everything from Purple Rain is going to get a big boost just because everybody knows that album so well. But "Sexy Motherfucker" has been, that's kind of one of those songs that has lasted through time, and I think is more popular now than it was in the 90s, you know? And, you know, it's definitely like a strip club staple. I've heard. But yeah, it's they're both really good. I like "Take Me With You" better, but
I get it.
Again,
I just hope it's close.
Yeah, me too.
"Take Me With You" is it was the first single from Purple Rain. It was the first single released off of that album. So, it'll be interesting. Jen, do you like the typical pop song or the kind of?
I will tell you in a week in the afternoon when these ones premiere.
Now, this is, I think, another really, really interesting match, depending on how people look at it. We have "Nothing Compares to You" going up against "Sign of the Times." And I absolutely love both of these songs. I actually prefer now the Prince version over the Sinead O'Connor version of "Nothing Compares to You." Was lucky enough to see it played live, so that made a definite difference, and won't waste time on that. We'll get to that another time. But "Sign of the Times" was just such an important song. I think it was definitely Prince making a statement, and, you know, really, you know, talking about a lot of issues, you know, before people wanted to talk about them, you know, putting it all into a song. So it's going to be interesting here also. Ryan, again, you've been listening to a lot of the playlist.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Sign of the Times is a great song. It definitely, you took the words out of my mouth as far as it like being kind of a change for Prince, where I don't really know exactly like if this was the first time where he was like, oh, I'm gonna start singing about issues now, or if this was just kind of when a lot of people took notice of it, or if it was like the first, you know, hit single that kind of,
It was, yeah.
But-
it was slow motion.
but it definitely, this is like kind of like TLC Waterfalls, but like better version of that. The TLC Waterfalls was like Sign of the Times of the 90s. But I love Nothing Compares to You. I think Nothing Compares to You is my winner. I love the version that we put on the playlist that was put out on
old
for his
version.
originals album. But it just the one that he does solo. But if you don't know, this song was obviously written by Prince, but it was originally released by Prince's like side project called The Family in 1985, which was kind of like a spin-off from The Time. It was like a lot of the same members from The Time. But they kind of disband and the song didn't become a big hit or anything, so it just kind of remained a great song in obscurity until Sinead took it to
a whole new level.
the next stratosphere. Yeah.
And I'm not taking away from her
Oh,
version.
Yeah,
no,
her
of course not.
version is gorgeous too. But like I agree with you in that we've heard her version so much. It is really fun to kind of revisit it with Prince singing it.
Yeah. I like what you said, Ryan. Like the original version, like his original, I shouldn't say arrangement, but instrumentation, very fun. I also love the version where they released it was just him on a piano. That was really nice.
Yeah,
too.
the first time I heard it was on one of his hits albums, like when he came out with those 3 hits albums in the 90s, and I remember hearing it with him and Rosie Gaines. It was like a live version, and that was amazing. That kind of blew my mind.
It wasn't one of those times like I forced you to listen to all those Prince bootlegs that I had. There was a time when I was really insufferable with my Prince bootlegs.
Yeah.
Every time somebody got in my car, I'm like, no, check out this live version of this weird song. Sorry to everybody whoever I ever did that to, and to you, Ryan. One more matchup to get to, and again, I'm not trying.
Right.
Like, no, well, I split it in half. I just amount of songs.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, we can do. I don't have it on my list. We can do that last one if
It's cool. I just thought we were gonna do the top half of each.
well, because there's those playing games.
Gotcha.
This is some inside pool for everybody. I split it into 18 songs.
I love it.
18 of 36.
That's totally fine. Let's roll with it.
Inside pool. I think it's a fun one to end on, though. We got Delirious from the 1999 album in 1982.
Oh, what? Wait, what? Sorry.
The album was called 1999.
Oh, God.
Oh, right.
Totally. I was like,
It was released in 1982.
I was like, no, wrong. It was not from 1999. Wow. That's going to trip me up.
I know, it happens a lot. Like, the song 1999. Just wait till the next episode. But the album was released in 1982. It's going up against Pop Life from Sign of the Times, another big album from 1987. Fun one here. Nice, fun songs. I think I'm a little partial to Pop Life, but Ryan, I'm interested to hear what you got to say.
This is a tough one for me. Pop Life is definitely one of those that I actually heard. I had heard it before, like growing up, and when I remember when the Hits album came out, hearing it on there, but I didn't really hear it as an adult until one of my friends performed it in karaoke, and I remember being like, "Holy shit, this song's really good!" And like, then I now Delirious has always been, since we did our Prince retrospective, has been one of my favorite Prince songs. So this is a tough one for me. I think Delirious is definitely kind of more like the fun song, and Pop Life is more like the introspective, serious song, if you will. So it's tough. They're both great songs. I just hope I hope it's close, honestly.
As a very stupid musician, like I was, half-assed musician, but somebody who was not very like smart at musicianship, I was very happy to learn as I was doing a little behind-the-scenes research on these songs that, Ryan, when we were trying to play that song, we had slowed it way down and kind of played it as a blues song.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that was the first thing that like kind of came up on the Wikipedia page was like, oh, this is an 8-bar blues song. I'm like,
Boy.
I dumbed my way into something. Yeah. I knew what I was doing. No, but I completely agree. I love these two songs. It's going to be a tough choice. Delirious actually reached number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100, so it's probably got a little momentum behind it, and I can't blame it. So, Jen,
Nope.
I have a nope. Don't slow down. I got something for you.
Okay.
The song Manic Monday.
I love that song.
You love that song.
I do love that
don't
song.
You? It's a fun song.
It is a fun song.
Little history behind Manic Monday. Today it went to number 2 on the charts back in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we're relating back. Mm-hmm. It's March 15th. All these things back, and what's your favorite part of Manic Monday? Is it when she wishes it was Sunday?
Because that is her fun day. Yeah.
If it wasn't for Prince, we wouldn't have Sunday Fun Day.
I know, exactly. We would all just be miserable on Sundays and on Mondays if we didn't have Prince telling us to enjoy it. I love that song because I'll play it for my students, my middle schoolers, and be like, I will give a Jolly Rancher to whoever can tell me who sings this song. And
you can only do that like once a year though, right?
Yeah, well, per class. I teach 6-8 classes, and then and then I've got another Jolly Rancher if you know who wrote this song. So so that's always fun. I also play it for my little guy when we're waking him up in the morning because he is not a morning person. But we change the Alexa from meditation music that he likes to have on while he's sleeping to something to wake him up, and that's our usual Monday morning pick.
Nice.
To get him up.
Well, if he's not a morning person, I can get him some coffee.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Please give my 7-year-old coffee.
I know. I'm in the profession of waking people up.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, good old Manic Monday. Mm-hmm. That is
it's so fun.
Prince did everything, man. He wrote, he directed, he performed, he choreographed, he found other amazing artists.
He's a fashion icon.
Mm-hmm.
He found some other non-amazing artists, and yes, Jen. Oh man, like there's so much fashion we would not have right now if it wasn't for him.
Not to mention, I mean, you could also point to like David Bowie and other less popular people like, Grace Jones and other people who are iconic but not as popular in the mainstream. But I mean, the things he did with like gender
and sexuality were like
were
so
just,
far ahead
absolutely,
of all the rest of us and really pushed everyone forward.
And just
By the way, this is a great note to kind of wrap on. I heard a thing today. This is about the album Dirty Mind. So we haven't talked about any songs from Dirty Mind yet. We will next week. But there was a guy who's like a very famous music critic. And his review, and I'm paraphrasing here, I apologize, but it was a 1-sentence review, and it said, Mick Jagger should go pack up his penis. Pack up his penis and go home.
Oh boy, that is.
Yeah.
I completely forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You're right. That is a.
And this
Perfect.
dude's like a heralded music critic. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he just, even listening now, knowing that, and even going back and listening to his songs and being like, wow, this is still like fucking crazy, some of the stuff he's doing. Even now, like in today's context, it's still like really, really cool and impressive. And yeah, he's just such an icon in so many ways. And to be able to claim him as like our favorite, Minneapolis's favorite son, it's fun. It's a cool thing that we can be proud of,
Yeah. And if you don't live in Minnesota, people in Minnesota are very, very, very proud of Prince.
Yeah. So. It's funny. I remember
Cool people in Minnesota.
when the Super Bowl was here, we were hanging out downtown because we went to go see Jimmy Fallon do his like post Super Bowl show here. And we were just bumming around downtown all day, the day of the Super Bowl. And they had this huge Prince exhibition, and like with tons of his like costumes and records and memorabilia and stuff. And we were walking around it, and there were some people there from Philadelphia, and they were like, God, why is there so much Prince stuff here? It's like,
that's fair.
Oh man, people don't even know.
Yep.
See, in that moment, I was trying to think of just any artist from Philadelphia, and I was like, nope.
Yep. Elton John?
Totally.
Freedom.
Rocky?
That was the only thing I thought. Yeah. Yeah, where's your Rocky Museum, guys?
Gritty is the best performance artist from Philadelphia.
Yes. Philly's favorite son, Gritty.
Yep.
Yeah, and we can, Ryan, you touched on so much of it. We can get into the musicianship on a future episode, and just how much he meant to, changing the landscape of music. But like you said, the just bringing so many issues to the forefront and being willing to talk about, not only social issues, but issues for artists also, like
Big time.
the way musicians are treated and other artistic talents are treated, and making sure people are taken care of. And he was always one to make sure that his entire staff was taken care of. So that's why we're celebrating. That's why we ran a little long here today with this episode. So hope you guys all enjoyed it. We'll get into some more songs and fight about all of them next week. Any last messages? Any shout outs? Anybody got any shout outs?
No. Try to for next week.
I'll just say, now that it's the end of the show, and I know that I won't have to go through the whole show on this note, I can say R.I.P. Josie Barrett.
I know. So sorry to hear that.
My 20-year-old cat. passed away peacefully this morning. So she'll be missed. But
She will. She was a sweetheart.
yeah.
Big shout out there. One of the sweetest we've ever met. And,
Loved Prince too.
Huge Prince
also
fan.
loved Prince. Huge Prince fan. So,
She wore those
wanna-
she wore those assless chaps around all the time.
oh boy. Well, that is the perfect way to end. So, R.I.P. Josie, shout out to you, and for everybody in the Pop Tournaments universe. We love you. Please keep on popping and keep on voting. I said that backwards.
Vote.
Friends, bye.
Hey,